Well, there are lots of college grads getting set to enter the workforce, and as we all know, competition for jobs everywhere is tough. One of the worst things you could actually do to land that big position? Well, to answer that question, we have Michael Hayes. He's the owner of Momentum Specialized Staffing here in Phoenix. Thank you for being here this morning, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
One of the biggest problems that you may find that people think, oh, I can pass through this, lying on the resume.
Yes, that's a lot of the issues that happen with people in a tough job market is they start to elaborate their resume or create experience that they may or may not have. But they don't realize that people like me, that's our job, is to check your background to make sure you actually have what you say you have on your resume.
What kind of lies are you finding? It amazes me that people are fibbing on their resume thinking no one's going to check this. Some people may not, but for the most part, if an employer is doing the right thing, they're going to check their background.
Well, for example, this week we had a sales position and we had a pre-screening question as part of the resume process to submit. One of the questions was, do you have sales experience? Well, out of about 20 or so resumes I got, half of them said they had sales experience, but there was no sales experience in the resume.
Okay.
So right off the bat, you're telling people you have a certain amount of experience when you don't really have it, so you're wasting everybody's time.
Okay, and then how do you even fix these holes if these people are saying, okay, I'm applying for this sales job, I may not have it. How do you fix the holes in your resume or even past issues that you may have?
Well, you have to look at what you actually have as experience and apply that to a job you're trying to get. If they're not going to do any training and they're looking for an experienced salesperson, you're probably not going to get the job. So save your time and energy to find something that may have a training program or something like that. Constantly sending resumes to people when you're not qualified not only annoys people, it also wastes your time.
Now, when I talk about past problems, how about things like maybe a felony or a past DUI that could eventually show up on any kind of a background check?
Well, today, I wish I had better news for you, but with so many people out of work, those things can really knock you out of probably 90% of the jobs.
Okay.
If there's any driving involved and you have a DUI, you're not going to get that type of a job because of the insurance carrier the company may have. Also, felonies, if you have theft felonies, that's a big problem too, and it's not easily overcome.
You can't just really lie about it, but at the same time, it's going to hinder your opportunity to get this job, correct?
Right, and that's why what I'm trying to explain is that because there's so much desperation, people are just saying, hey, I just got to do another resume and send it out and see if I can get a job, and hopefully they won't check.
And you talked about people are embellishing their resumes because it is a tough job market out there. Is it ever okay to bend the truth a little bit? I mean, to say you work for a place for 9 months, can you put a year? I mean, little things like that. When is it okay? Where's the line?
I think no, because I put it on to the other person by saying would it be okay if I embellished how much I was going to pay you? Then I said, well, I'm only going to pay you half of that. So that wouldn't be correct. So I don't believe you should lie on your resume at all, because it can always come back to you, not only in the first couple months, but even years later.
Okay.
People can look back, and if they catch you doing that, it's a fireable offense.
Being a staffing service for temp jobs and permanent jobs, what's your suggestion to folks out there who are looking for jobs right now? What kind of openings are you guys seeing and are you guys trying to fill?
Right now, you'll see there's a lot of skilled labor, HVAC, obviously because of the summertime heat, the air conditioning, installing, plumbing jobs, mobile service techs that work on heavy equipment, some warehousing positions. The place that I've really not found a lot of openings that are normally in this type of environment is the administration clerical. Okay. A lot of people are still operating, they got 4 people doing a 5 or 6 person office job.
Downsizing, sure.
And they're not ready to hire for those positions yet, so I really don't see that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, telling us a little bit about how to make sure your resume is the best looking possible resume there is without having to bend the truth. We appreciate your time, Michael. Again, he is with Momentum Specialized Staffing here in Phoenix. Coming up next.